What's up, y'all? My name is Frankie. Welcome to my channel, Intuitives Alike. And today's video is going to be titled, How to Free Your Mind. This whole video is going to be controversial as fuck. So just bear with me and take everything I say with a grain of salt. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Alright, first things first. We need to reprogram our mind, right? Or free our mind. You feel me? Like in the Matrix. There are many ways to do this, but I'm gonna be discussing the three main ways that have been most helpful to me. All right, now that's for me. So what may be helpful, what may be helpful for me may not be helpful for you. Like I said, take everything with a grain of salt and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, so the first one is recognizing predictive programming. Right, this one is like, I feel like the most important because we live in a world of deception and half truth. Now, no, ain't nobody can deny that. Like, I would let us argue with you. Like, you wanna argue about that? Like, cause we could. But yeah, predictive programming is the theory that the government or other higher ups or like the 1%ers, the rich ass motherfuckers that don't pay taxes, are using fictional movies or books as a mass mind control tool to make the population more accepting of planned future events, right? That's the definition, like straight from Google. This was first described and proposed by researcher Alan Watts, who defines predictive programming as the subtle form of psychological conditioning provided by the media to acquaint the public with planned societal changes to be implemented by our leaders. That's a handful. That's a mouthful, bruh. So I'm just going like I'm gonna elaborate. So predictive programming to me is the government showing shit that is gonna happen in the future in shows, TV, movies, and the media, especially like Instagram. So when they show us that, we react, right? We either react in a bad way or a good way. They don't give a fuck how we react because they're gonna do it anyways. So yeah, so it just makes us less surprised that what is happening happens, because you know that leads us to question things, and when we question things, we reprogram. So that's why it's important to question every single thing you're told. And you need to discern whether what you're being told is true to you or not, right? So they do this through, like I said, movies and TV shows like Black Mirror, The Simpsons, The Matrix, my favorite, and they do it in video games as well. It took me a while because I've been playing video games since I was like 5 years old, bro. So it took me a while to actually realize this. But they do this shit in video games too, bro. Like Watch Dogs, I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion right now, and what's it called? Cyberpunk 2077, right? They do this, and that's just a couple of the games, right? But yeah, I'm gonna be talking about like the different types of, you know, predictive programming, or the times that these shows have, you know, implemented predictive programming into one of their episodes or the movies, like The Matrix. So in Black Mirror, there's this episode, right? It's I forgot what it's called. I'm finna put it up here when I edit this shit. But basically, in the episode, like there was this society. It was in the future, and society was like not super advanced, but like it was pretty advanced, and everybody operated from this social credit system like they have in China, right? And this girl took the social credit so seriously, and the social credit system in that show was basically like whatever you do, like that's impacted. That's literally what it is in China. So she takes the shit way too seriously, and she goes to this wedding, I think, and then like from this old friend that she don't even fuck with, and then she just has like a outburst. And it wasn't because of that. It was because there was shit leading up to that event that was pissing her off and got her to that breaking point, right? So shorty was at a 4.2, I think, and got down to a 3.1 in a day, mind you. So that was making her even more pissed because shorty is obsessed with her social credit system, right? I mean, her social credit score. So yeah, shorty had a whole, she went off. And we have this also in The Simpsons, right? So many episodes I can't even name, but a couple is going to be, I don't know the names of the episodes, but I have like pictures put up, and it's one of Bart Simpson. He's basically 9/11. And we have another one of Trump speaking, and Homer just in the background like, ooh. And I feel like Homer reflects the people, it like represents the people, like, ooh, okay. And they say, ooh, okay, you feel me? That's literally what they do. But yeah, and we have the Matrix, which in the Matrix, he Morpheus, one of the main characters, gives Neo a blue pill or a red pill, right? So the red pill is the truth, right? It's what wakes Neo up from the Matrix, right? He literally unplugged from the Matrix. And the blue pill is just means, you know, he doesn't want to accept the truth and he goes back to living his normal life, right? So, you know, obviously he takes the red pill, and like, that's a different video. But yeah, so even in video games, bro, like in Cyberpunk, like the second game I mentioned, Cyberpunk 2077, it's a technologically advanced world, right? Set in 2077, right? But technology is suppressed, and therefore like it's commonly exploited, like kind of like drugs. So in Cyberpunk 2077, the main character has a mind construct of Johnny Silverhand, which is Keanu Reeves. And Johnny Silverhand, basically he's a rock star in the 2010 early 20s or some shit, and he committed the worst terrorist act he committed the worst terrorist act of the 21st century, right? So basically what a mind construct is, I feel like mind constructs are spirit guides, literally, at this point, because I'm trying to gain a sense of individuality, right? And in that sense of individuality journey, I'm over here questioning the existence of my spirit guides. Because you know the saying, all is one and we are all with one? If that's true, then I'm a spirit guide. I'm my own spirit guide. And they are imaginary voices. They're literally imaginary voices that I create in order to make myself feel more comfortable. And if that's the case for me, that's the case for everybody, ain't it? Right? So that's the reason why I've been ghost, bro. Because I'm just over here like in this rabbit hole of shit. I don't even know what's true anymore. So I took that red pill. I wanted to take the red pill, and bitch, I got the red pill. And that's why you gotta be careful with what you ask for, because the truth can be so like disintegrating to the average human. It's like, it's not even worth it sometimes. But yeah, so in Cyberpunk 2077, Johnny acts kind of like a spirit guide, right? Leading the main character to make decisions because they have a common goal. And it's to take down the same capitalism that has allowed the corporations to gain so much control and power that they control the government and have in turn controlled the people. And it's like, it's a whole tyranny at this point, turning America into a dystopia. So what does that sound like? In Watch Dogs Legion, it's kind of like Cyberpunk, low-key. So in Watch Dogs Legion, it's not that far into the future. Like, it's probably like 5 or 10 years into the future, and it's set in London, right? And what do we know that's happening in London? Anyways, I haven't even got to what Watch Dogs Legion is, but I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion for about like 2.5 weeks, and basically Watch Dogs Legion is basically about a hacker group called DedSec, and DedSec is trying to take down the private military that the London officials or whoever runs the country, because I don't even know anymore at this point, everything is fake, but basically London, the whole, I don't know if it's like the whole UK, but in London it's like the officials hired a private military to what was it? It was to control the people, because I think there was a lot of terrorist acts happening or some shit. Yeah, bro, it was a lot of terrorist. No. It was a chain of terrorist attacks that happened in the same frequency, like literally the same day. There was 3 like buildings that were exploded. It was the Tones Tones Hall Central, I don't know, something like that. I don't know the landmarks, what they call it, but yeah, it was basically 3 of the most important buildings in London, right, that were destroyed in the terrorist act. And come to find out, the same private military that the officials of London hired to protect the people committed the terrorist attacks. So it's just like, bruh, you feel me? What does that tell you about like real life? The government does shit on purpose and then blames another group or another group, and then they instill rules and they normalize stereotypes. They implement a belief system that turns the people into little bitches that basically look to the government for everything, look to their state officials for everything, for all the answers. But no, you can't do that. They don't want you to succeed. What makes you think that they want you to succeed? If you succeed, then they lose money. Because who is paying taxes? If you're an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, not you. So yeah, y'all just gotta take everything with a grain of salt and then put the salt back into the puzzle, right? The salt that you collected, empty that shit out and complete the puzzle. Because that's basically what it is, bro. It's just a puzzle. It's a puzzle of deception and half-truths. But don't feel some type of way because you enjoy these forms of entertainment. Just be glad that you are listening now and are waking up, right? Because there's enough time in the world for anything at this point. But I feel as though we should actually enjoy in the Matrix sometimes and enjoy the forms of entertainment that the Matrix provides us. Because if we continue to we continue to experience what the Matrix is providing to the people, we can continue to deepen our knowledge of how the real world works. And then we can decode the Matrix through understanding and taking back our world, right? But the key is to not get too lost into it, right? I did a reading for myself for the first time in like weeks, bruh. And a card that popped out that really stood out it always stands out to me is be in the world but not of it. And I feel like that basically encompasses what I'm trying to say. Keep your friends close but your enemies closer, and learn to play both sides in order to create your own. What is the Matrix? The Matrix is our environment. It's the environment that we currently reside in, right? It's all around us. It's everything that we can perceive, aka see. Everything that we can see and we can touch, that's the Matrix, right? So the characters in the Matrix, in the real movie, are constantly traversing through the Matrix and the real world in order to defeat their enemy. But that's a whole nother video. But yeah, because the enemy is doing the same shit as they're doing. The enemy was doing it first. So that ties into what I was saying, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Learn to play both sides in order to create your own. So that's basically what they're doing. They're plugging because they literally plugging themselves back into the Matrix and taking themselves out in order to really commune with the team and come up with a strategy to beat the enemy, right? So that's what you need to do. That's what I need to do too. Shit, because this is me taking accountability real quick. I get too lost into this damn Matrix, bro. Like, it sucks. Because I'm either too lost in the Matrix or I'm either too lost in the real world, which is just the mind and what we can imagine. So it's just like that's everybody, bro. Like, everybody needs to create balance. You can't be too stuck in this world, but you can't be too stuck in this actual world, right? Because life operates on a polarity, right? Positive and negative. Negative being the Matrix, positive being the spirit realm. You need to be right here. You cannot be over here or over here. You need to be right here. I'm sorry to say this, but we are humans in order to experience, in order to be humans. Learning how to maintain your vibes is going to be the thing that grounds you into loving life, learning to love life. This is another multifaceted thing that you're gonna have to explore on your own in order to implement into your life. I can only tell you so much, but you're only supposed to take shit with a grain of salt and run with that and take salt from other people. Or that sounds mean, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. So what works for you, like I said this earlier, what works for you may not work for me. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, if you made it this far into the video. Meditation, grounding, and tapping into the matrix from time to time in order to give yourself a break and have fun. Those are the 3 main ways to, I kind of touched on that earlier too, but doing these 3 things is what's going to help you maintain your vibes. So meditating, something I haven't been doing. I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. I haven't been meditating at all, and I need to. At least once a week. At least once a week. Come on now. We can't, like I said, we need to have balance. So meditating at least once a week is necessary. At least, or once a month, whatever works for you. But meditate, please. Because when you meditate, that's the only time that you, other than being in the shower and sleeping, that's the only time that you have truly to yourself and with yourself. Just pure self. So that's why you need to meditate. Once a month, once a week, whatever works for you, do it. But please at least meditate, bro. Grounding. So grounding, this can be anything. This can be expressing yourself. This can be putting your bare feet into the soil. This can be smoking weed. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel grounded, do it. Because when you're receiving all these downloads from the 540, 5D, 60, all that shit is materializing in here, right? No, not materializing, but it's coming up in here, and you don't know where to put it. You need to ground it. You need to, what's it called? You need to physicalize it. You need to stable. You need to ground it. So basically, do that. Put your feet in the soil. Do what makes you feel grounded. Do what makes you feel secure in order to do what makes you feel grounded and secure and stable. Because, you know, life is not all about meditation. Life is not all about looking at the messages, reading the signs, or seeing the messages and reading the signs. It's not all about that. It's about having fun too. My North Node is in Taurus, so that's something I need to learn. And being a Capricorn rising, that shit is not easy. It's not easy at all. But it's okay, because I have my braces off, I got my contacts in, I got a haircut. Y'all see me? Yeah, I look so good right now, bro. This is the reason why I'm making this video. I've been feeling shitty and I look shitty. So I was not gonna pick up this camera and speak to y'all, because I wanna talk to y'all when I am in a good state of mind and a state of being, right? So I can't be in a good state of mind, state of being if I look like shit. Life is more than the physical, but the physical matters, right? What we see matters. What we can already see matters, and we need to pay attention to what we can already see, because what we can already see is going to help us see more and see clear. This is not going to be an easy process. Freeing your mind is not going to be an easy process. It's going to take at least a year to complete, 6 months to a year. That's what I found, because I've been on this spiritual journey for like, it was building up from December to March, the first week of March, and then exploded the second week of March, right? I was in such a low state that I got put in a fucking crazy house, bro. That's how low I was. And I hadn't been put in a crazy house since the last time I tried to kill myself, and that was in 7th grade. And I was a sophomore. Well, yeah, I was a sophomore at this time. So, yeah, it's going to take a grip. It's going to take a grip. This process is not going to be easy. And for me, freeing the matrix was discovering spirituality. No pill, nothing worked for me when it came to, I'm sorry, the lighting is so ugly. I think that's better, but yeah, so nothing worked for me, bro. Literally no pill, no activity, no person helped me cope with my depression, schizophrenia, and anxiety. And that's a whole nother video. Mental illness and spirituality is a whole nother video. So yeah, you're gonna lose friends, and relationship with family members are gonna fall apart, but they're eventually gonna mend back together, because family's family, and that shit is hard to get rid of. You can, but it's hard. Everything is temporary. The old ways need to be shedded in order for new, better ways that serve your highest potential and being are finally implemented. It takes a while old habits die hard. So releasing old habits that no longer serve you. This also ties in with the first one, but this one is probably the most important one because it takes 7 days to create a habit. It takes 21 days to create a lifestyle. So you need to have a healthy lifestyle. What the fuck? So this process is gonna seem painful, but it honestly isn't. You just press because you can't do what you wanted to. That's it. So once you establish strong faith, determination, and discipline, it'll be easy. Trust me. And detachment from enjoyment. That's one big thing because we can't always enjoy. Sometimes we have to suffer. Like I said, life operates in the polarity. You cannot stay here or you can't stay here. You have to be here. Balance. It only seems painful, and it can be a little painful because it only seems this way because you're changing into a new person. And change can be so scary that ego may try to self-sabotage us into falling back into our old ways. But those are simply just tests for your FFD, faith, determination, and discipline. Coping with the energy drainers that are trying to keep you stuck back into the matrix. That makes no sense, but you get what I was trying to say. You'll probably feel conflicted, stressed out, and if you're prone or already diagnosed with mental illness, those will probably be amplified. Like, depending on what type of person you are, but for me, to cope with that, be active. Keep a routine that keeps you elevated. Link right here. And try not to smoke too much weed. Please try not to smoke too much or take too many shrooms if you have an addictive personality. Please, if you have an addictive personality and you already do drugs, please don't do them too much. Come on, you need to have a little discipline when it comes to weed or shrooms, whatever you're into. You need to have discipline because drugs take us into the higher dimensions. Drugs take us into the mind. Drugs help us see what is really actually going on. Yeah, drugs can be a wonderful tool, but people like me easily go down a path of stagnancy. But if you're like me and, if you're like me, remember to moderate your consumption, please, bro. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, obviously comment, let me know that you liked the video. And if you feel like this video could help somebody else or a friend, family member, share it. It don't hurt to share. If y'all want me to make a certain video on a certain topic or some shit, then just let me know in the comments, you feel me? I would actually be greatly appreciated because then that lets me know what type of content y'all want to see. And I have this channel for me, right? It's for me, mostly for me, but it's for y'all too, right? It's intuitives alike. So this is like I don't know, community that intuitives like. Come to commute. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'll talk to you on the next video.